Iran just revealed a weapon that its enemies say could give them a literal heart attack. And no, that's not just internet hype. That description comes directly from Iran's own naval leadership. The weapon is called the Hoot, a high-speed underwater missile designed with one goal in mind: destroying some of the largest and most powerful warships on Earth, including American aircraft carriers like the USS Abraham Lincoln and the USS Gerald R. Ford. And the timing here is impossible to ignore. Just this week, the USS Gerald R. Ford, currently the world's largest aircraft carrier, quietly left the Middle East after a massive deployment. Officially, the Navy says the ship is heading home for maintenance and repairs. But around the same time, Iranian officials began publicly talking about advanced naval weapons capable of terrifying enemy forces before combat even begins. One Iranian commander even claimed their latest weapon would give enemies a heart attack the moment they saw it. That statement may sound dramatic, but once you understand what the Hoot actually is, the concern starts to make a lot more sense. Because by the end of this video, you'll understand why military analysts take this weapon seriously, why geography gives Iran a major advantage in certain waters, and why some experts believe the Hoot may already be affecting U.S. naval strategy without firing a single shot. First, let's talk about what this weapon actually does. The word Hoot translates to whale in Persian, but this thing moves nothing like a whale. Iran claims the Hoot is a supercavitating torpedo capable of reaching speeds of roughly 360 kilometers per hour underwater. That is dramatically faster than standard torpedoes used by most navies around the world. To understand how dangerous that is, you need to compare it with a normal torpedo. Most conventional torpedoes travel at around 60 to 70 kilometers per hour. Warships are built around defending against threats moving at those speeds. Radar systems, sonar tracking, countermeasures, and defensive weapons all rely on reaction time. But the Hoot changes that completely. At nearly 360 kilometers per hour, a ship may only have seconds to react before impact. And in naval warfare, seconds can decide whether a ship survives or disappears beneath the water. So how is something underwater moving that fast? The answer comes down to a technology called supercavitation. Normally, water creates enormous resistance against moving objects. That's why underwater vehicles are usually much slower than aircraft. The Hoot reportedly solves this problem by generating a massive gas bubble around itself while traveling underwater. Instead of cutting directly through water, the torpedo essentially moves inside its own pocket of gas, reducing drag dramatically and allowing rocket-like speed beneath the surface. According to reports, the weapon carries a 210-kilogram warhead with an estimated range of 6 to 8 nautical miles. A direct hit on a ship's hull would likely cause catastrophic damage. But what really concerns naval strategists is how difficult the weapon could be to stop. Traditional torpedoes can often be tracked and countered once detected. But a supercavitating weapon traveling inside a vapor bubble at extreme speed leaves very little reaction time for defensive systems. And this is where things get uncomfortable for the United States. Russia has experimented with supercavitating torpedoes for years. Iran claims it now possesses one too. The U.S. Navy still primarily relies on conventional torpedoes like the Mark 48. The Mark 48 is highly advanced and has significantly longer range than the Hoot, but it does not match the Hoot's speed. And in close-range combat, speed can matter more than distance. That matters because Iran's naval strategy is built around asymmetric warfare. Iran does not need giant carrier groups or massive destroyers to create a threat. Weapons like the Hoot can reportedly be launched from submarines, coastal launch systems, and fast attack boats. That creates a dangerous scenario inside narrow waterways where large American warships have limited room to maneuver. And no location matters more here than the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow stretch of water is one of the most strategically important shipping routes on the planet. Roughly 20% of the world's oil and liquefied natural gas passes through it. If conflict ever disrupted that route, the economic impact would be felt worldwide almost immediately. At its narrowest point, the Strait of Hormuz is only around 33 kilometers wide. Now compare that with the estimated range of the Hoot. That means ships traveling through parts of the strait could potentially remain inside the weapon's engagement zone for much of their journey. There is no truly safe distance there. The geography itself becomes part of the weapon. And this is why Iranian Navy Commander Shahram Irani's heart attack comment matters more than people think. Because weapons like the Hoot are not just designed for physical destruction. They are designed to create psychological pressure. Military analysts sometimes describe systems like this as silver bullet weapons. They may not dominate every battlefield scenario, especially in open ocean combat, but under the right conditions, they become extremely dangerous. And even the possibility of such a threat can influence military strategy. That's the key point here. A weapon does not need to be fired to change the battlefield. If commanders believe there is even a small chance their carriers could be vulnerable in confined waters, they may reposition those assets farther away from danger. Which brings us back to the USS Gerald R. Officially, the carrier's departure from the Middle East is tied to maintenance needs after an extended deployment and onboard repair issues. That explanation is legitimate. But context matters. Its departure also reduces American naval presence in a region where tensions with Iran remain high. Meanwhile, Iran continues publicly signaling confidence in its underwater capabilities. So, did the Hoot directly influence any American military decisions? There is no public proof of that, but military planners don't wait for confirmation before adjusting strategy. They plan around capabilities. And whether battle-tested or not, the Hoot represents a capability that cannot be ignored. Right now, Iran still overlooks the Strait of Hormuz. American carriers are still operating nearby. And somewhere beneath those waters is a weapon Iran claims could give its enemies a heart attack before the battle even begins. So the real question is this: is the US simply rotating forces as part of normal operations? Or are modern aircraft carriers finally facing an underwater threat powerful enough to change how the world's strongest navy operates? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.